Let's play a little game of Would You Rather. Would you rather live in Bulgaria or Mississippi?
Bulgaria.
All right, that's the end of the game. Nobody wants to live in Mississippi.
Nobody.
No. Tosh Show. Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show. Welcome to Tosh Show. I'm Daniel Tosh. Another Tuesday with me. Eddie Gosling, how you doing?
I'm doing good, buddy. Did you guys get to camping in your backyard last weekend?
I did. By the way,
Okay.
hold on. This drew some quite a bit of online chatter I saw. People were saying, "Oh, there's no way he's actually going to camp, get a tent in his backyard with his family." Well, I did it. Now, a lot of people were saying you need to get a 10-person tent. I didn't do that either. I got a 4-person tent for 4 people.
Okay.
Okay? And now, granted, 2 of them are small children. But I measured the dimensions of the floor, and it was like a dome with the whole top open so I could stare at the stars. Not open, like a mesh, like you can see through.
Right.
And it was, the dimensions were bigger than a king bed.
There you go.
So I was like, this is plenty of room for us. And we're just sleeping in the backyard. So I set it up, and then I bought a tiny little tent so I could have a guest house tent for Panda. Panda sleeps in the guest house tent next to us. I had it perfect. It was nice. And the weather was going to be freezing, like low 50s, high 40s in the middle of the day. But I got a pad, like a mattress pad, not an inflatable, but like a soft pad. And then I put some other pads in there. And then I went and just started grabbing all of our comforters and pillows, and I made it kind of like a what you would think an Egyptian.
Like a pharaoh.
Yeah.
Look at you.
I was like it was nice. It was cozy. Now the dew started coming through the mesh, but that was like the top layer was getting damp. We were snug as a bug underneath it. And I got up a couple times, once with my son to pee, and once with my wife to pee in the yard. She's just out there squatting. We're all just out there squatting in the yard peeing.
That's awesome.
Now Panda's tent was supposed to be a 1 to 2 person, but it barely slept her. She had to sleep at an angle, and then I also made her sleep with Carl inside. So Carl was inside with her. And in the morning, I went up to the house and I got some coffee for the ladies, and it was just a great. My kids were going crazy. They thought it was the most bizarre thing ever.
Like, our house is right there, but we're sleeping out here.
Now my daughter was just like, we got to do this every night.
Oh, that's great.
We got to do it. Well, anyway, so the people that were concerned that I bought the wrong size tent, I feel like the tent I bought was right for my family. It was a good size, felt great. Yeah, it was good. So I did it. What I did the next day, though, is, this is what I have to share this with you because I think it will help people realize that at my core, there still is a glimmer of who I once was. Here's what I'm going to let you guys know about the well-to-do. You're screwed. I mean, all of you. You stand no chance with your kids, just so you know. It wasn't a dinner, but it was catered. It was a thing for this new school that's going to be opening here. And I don't want to say the name of it because this is going to get me in so much trouble with my wife, which is the only one I care about. And then the community here of people that are going to support this. Not a lot of options out here, but these private schools that these kids go to. Most of the private schools from K through 12 are around $35,000 to $50,000 a year. I don't send my kid to a private school. Okay. But at some point, I'd like to know what the options are. Mm-hmm. So we go to this thing, and again, this school, I'm not saying the name of it. It would take you no research to figure it out. It started in Texas. It's been around for a while. And it's like 2 hours of AI learning. But it's not really 2 hours because you still have to be there all day long because you have to do their other activities. And like some kids, a 12-year-old started a food truck and he's grossing $2 million a year. The problem is I'm not raising my children to be money motivated. So that doesn't interest me. But what interests me was like, oh, can I just cram their school into 2 hours a day and we can show up when we want to? Versus a public school, if your kid misses a bunch of school, you get a truancy letter, blah, blah, blah. Your kid needs to go. I just want you guys to know how screwed you are, because this is what your kids are competing against, these rich assholes. We go to this house that's for sale. The house happens to be $28 million. Not oceanfront either, by the way. Okay, whatever. So we're there, and everybody's just having, cocktails and chatting, and they have these kids talking. Like, here's some former graduates of the school, and you can ask them any questions, and look what they've accomplished. And she's got this thing that's got 80 million views. I'm like, I don't give a shit about any of these things that they're achieving. Oh, look at how well-versed they are in everything, in literature, and how articulate they are. Then they opened it up to questions from the parents that were there, and I couldn't resist. I had to ask questions.
This is when you're at your best.
I just said, what if you just want to do the 2 hours a day and then, let your kid come home the rest of the day, and maybe I want to dip out to Europe for a month and not go to school at all. Is that all fine? But I'll pay the full amount. Mm-hmm. By the way, the full amount is $75,000 a year for this school.
Wow.
Okay. They're like, oh no, you can't do that. You have to. They have to be there the whole day. I'm like, well then quit saying to everybody that's 2 hours a day. It's like all school is just 2 hours a day. If you cut out bathroom breaks, walking around the hall, recess and lunch and everything else. Right. So it's not 2 hours a day. It's a full day, just like any other place. All they want to know is like, oh, your test scores, you're gonna keep it. The AI will read your kids' brains and we'll know your kids better than you do. And I'm like, well, I don't want you to know my kids better than me. So maybe I need to spend more time with them. And they're like, well, we've found that most parents, need a break from their kids. I'm like, okay, well, that's a cute little joke for your little pitch, but I enjoy spending time with my kids. So quit trying to sell me on the fact that you're going to give me more free time away from my children. Mm-hmm. That's not what I'm after. And then I said to them, I go, well, does the dumbest person at your school know that they're the dumbest person? Because they're so big on knowing their rank. There's like a scoreboard at this school. And the answer is they do. But you have to understand, the dumbest person at their school is still in the 1% in the entire country in academics. Okay, well, if everybody's in the 1%, then no one's in the 1%, right? Mm-hmm. I said, has a C student ever graduated from your school? And they're like, well, we don't do grades. And I'm like, okay, fuckheads. You know what a C student is.
And you know what I'm saying.
Has somebody in the middle that just gets by, and they're like, oh no. I'm like, okay, well, they don't call the teachers teachers. They call them. I think they call them guides. I don't like that. Yeah, let's just stick with the same names that we have. We have teachers,
right?
And your kid's gonna go. My 8-year-old's gonna take off to San Francisco for a week. Fuck you. You think my kid's gonna leave and go on a trip with your guide? I mean, I just can't wait for 20 years to pass so that we can have some stories surface about some of these guides that were taking these children on trips. Oh, it turns out we should have stuck with teachers. And I didn't let it go, because then the guy was, they started coming back at they could tell that I wasn't a fan. Mm-hmm. At one point, Carly grabs my arm. She knows she has to do it strong. She knows that people are going to see it. And she has to go, no more. She's like, no more. I'm like, all right. And by the way, I was a huge no going in, saw this and was just like, just lit up with glee, because I finally got to just like rub it into my wife's face. Like, this is where you want to send our artistic kid is to this place. Let him suck the life out of him so he can get get his math scores up.
Move up the leaderboard.
And don't get me wrong, I know the school works.
Right.
It's going to pump out these kids that are going to get into every great college. But my point in bringing this up to you guys is you stand no chance. If you're a normal person making a normal income, your kids can't compete with these kids. They've got too much. They were going to beat your kids out anyway, because these 1% people are always going to just spend whatever money to give their kid the best education. You know, it used to be just bribe the school. And then you throw Lori Loughlin in jail, and now parents are scared. So they're like, okay, fuck it. Let's just spend the money on our kids' education and get these AI nerds to, you know, erase our kids' memories of fun. And I was just looking around the room, and I was like, to watch some of the parents in the questions they ask and just knowing that this is what they want for their kids, I'm like, oh, man. You're a poor kid. And then people are like, well, why do you want to put limitations on your kid? I'm like, I don't. I just don't want his entire world to be consumed by test scores. I certainly don't. This guy's bragging that his 8-year-old's up till 1 a.m. to pass a test. My kid has never been awake past 9 p.m. in his life. Here's what it costs. So $75,000. So from K through 12, it's $1 million basically. Instead of spending $1 million, I'm just not going to spend $1 million, and I'm just going to keep the money. And I have 2 kids, so that's $2 million. So I'll just keep $2 million. Later in life, if they want to sue me, I'll settle for $2 million for not giving them the proper education that they wanted.
There you go.
By the way, that's another thing. The whole school has 25 people from whatever grade all the way through. So hope you like the other person that's in your grade, because you're going to be having play dates with that person forever. The American education system is screwed up. Fine. Maybe I'll take my kids to another country. Which country? The Netherlands. Enjoy. Spring is in full swing, and Quince has all your wardrobe staples for the season. But Daniel, how will Pete and Dylan afford 100% European linen shorts and shirts? Because they start at only $34. That's a hell of a deal. Lightweight, breathable, and comfortable. Or 100% Pima cotton tees with a softness you have to feel. John?
Yes.
Didn't you just order something from Quince?
I did. Couple of cotton model crew neck tees.
Good for you. I don't want to hear about it. Pete? You still got Quince stuff going on?
I got sheets, a comforter, and a duvet cover.
Pete's sleeping in Quince.
Jeez.
Believe it. Refresh your everyday with luxury you'll actually use. Head to quince.com/Tosh for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/Tosh for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Tosh. Tosh Show. My guest today helps people get the fuck out of America. Literally. That's her job and the name of her company. She's like an ICE agent if ICE agents relocated you to countries with better work-life balance, free healthcare, safe walkable cities, strong social safety nets, healthier food, and longer life expectancies. Please welcome relocation consultant for Americans moving abroad, Jana.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
Is Jana short for anything?
No, that's
Okay.
my name, Jana, but it's Jana Lynn.
Does anybody call you Jana Lynn?
Yeah, my friends in Texas do.
That sounds real.
It's redneck.
Now you sound real Southern.
It's so redneck.
Jana Lynn. Jana Lynn. I like it. Okay. Do you believe in ghosts?
I do not believe in ghosts.
Now I trust you to get me out of this country. Can you still vote in America?
I can. I just sent in my absentee ballot for the runoff elections in Texas.
Oh, Texas. That brings me to this next question. Do you think one of the contributing factors to starting GTFO Tours is having grown up in Texas?
Well, that's a good question. It's pretty rough there right now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Was your fallback career assisted suicide? Because that's where I would be if I lived in Texas. And people, they love to tell you how great Austin is. Austin hasn't been good since I stopped doing the Velveeta room in 1999. Every time I've been there, they're like, it used to be a lot better. That's how they always talk about it. You should have been here a decade ago. That's when it was great. I'm like, is it great? You started out your career in politics and journalism. Tell us just a bit about that chapter of your life.
Okay, so I started in politics fundraising here in California, actually. I don't know if you remember Lieutenant Governor Leo McCarthy. I worked for him, and then I got into journalism. I worked at the Baltimore Sun, and then Reuters, and that was all in Europe. I moved to Europe in 1998, and I lived there until 2015. So I came back to the U.S., And then Trump got elected.
Did you vote for Trump?
Hell no.
Okay. I mean, it's not really my right to ask who you voted for.
Oh, I think everybody knows I didn't vote for Trump.
I know. What about the second time?
So the first time, I'll go back a little bit. I really thought you could change things. I believed that democracy was still a thing in America. And so I ran for Congress.
You ran for Congress in a very Republican district in Texas.
In Texas, yes.
How bad did you lose?
I lost by 7 points. All the people before me had lost by 20 points.
Hey, take that victory. That's what always bothers me, though, when I'm supposed to get excited about some blue wave, and then it's like, oh, we still lost all of them. Oh, my gosh.
We did win a lot of seats that year. None as red as mine, but we did win a lot of seats that year, and it looked like, there might be a chance that we could get back to normalcy. But I think when Trump won the second time, I gave up all hope.
Do you blame women?
Maybe white women. Can I say that?
You can say that whatever you'd like. Are you a white woman?
No, I'm actually not. I'm a Latina.
She's a Latina. Now,
I know I look like a white woman, but I'm a Latina.
Yeah, I don't know that. You look Latina to me.
Okay,
now,
good.
My question with blaming women, though, is Trump's only beaten women when it comes down to the actual Hillary and Kamala. He's never beaten a man when it comes to running for president. That was our problem.
That's a good point.
How did you end up in the Netherlands?
Okay, so it's the second time I've lived in the Netherlands. I met a Dutch man back in 2000, I think, or 1999, moved to the Netherlands, and then married him.
How quickly did you know that you were going to marry this Dutch man?
Oh, it took years.
And how did he do with the Mexican family?
He thinks my family's a little bit crazy. Yeah.
Did they embrace him?
Yes, they love him. Yeah,
That's great.
I think they like him more than they like me.
How many Mexican women do you have in your friend group in the Netherlands?
I would say only one, actually.
Okay.
She's a Mexican-American. Mm-hmm. She's a Latina from Arlington.
What is the Latino percentage in the Netherlands?
Very, very low.
Is it tiny?
Tiny. I think it probably wouldn't even register.
And 90% of the people in the Netherlands can speak English?
93%, I think, fluently.
Yeah, okay. 93% can speak fluently, yet all of their street signs are written in pure gibberish. Can you speak Dutch?
I can.
How well?
I think I'm at least a B1, possibly headed towards B2 level.
Do you have to get to a certain level to become a citizen?
In theory, you do. In reality, when I became a citizen, it was back before a lot of anti-immigrant hysteria that started a few decades ago. I became a citizen in 2003 in the Netherlands. Mm-hmm. I really didn't have to speak Dutch, but right after I got my passport, other people did.
But you could pass the requirements
I could pass it, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
What made you want to get into human trafficking?
It actually sort of happened by accident. I had on my public Facebook page from when I'd run for Congress, I had a lot of people reaching out to me to say, hey, I see you're leaving the country. How can I leave? So I started doing weekly calls on Zoom and on Facebook Live, telling people about different places that were accepting Americans like Costa Rica, Mexico. And it just sort of evolved that people needed a lot of help.
Is it hard?
It is hard. You've got to have the financial ability or at least the skills to be able to get a job abroad. You've got to do everything right in terms of getting a visa or getting a second passport. 40% of Americans are eligible for a second passport somewhere in the world. And it's like knowing the process and knowing how to do it. A lot of people spend years trying to figure out how to do it without actually ever leaving.
I always watched like House Hunters International.
Yeah.
And I know the show is fake and stuff like that, but regardless, I always envied these people. They're like, well, you know what? We took our little nest egg and we moved here.
Yeah.
And I find it fascinating, but I'm always like, good for them. I'm happy they did that, but I don't know that I would have it in me. But at one point, maybe I'll pull the trigger. GTFO. How'd you come up with that name?
It's actually the brainchild of my business partner, Bethany Quinn. That was her brand for the coaching that she was doing before we connected to form GTFO Tours.
Okay, but it does stand for what I think it stands for.
It absolutely stands for that, yes.
Is it like a dating app? How does it work for them to use your service?
So usually it starts with a call, a consultation. They book a call. They get either Bethany or me. And then we ask them a series of questions like, what do you want your life to look like? Do you have children? Anybody in your family LGBTQ? Are you worried about anything? What are your issues? Were any of your grandparents born anywhere? Do you have access to another passport? And most importantly, how much money do you have? And do you need to work or do you just want to retire? So we go through a series of questions and then we discuss it with them. Like, okay, well, Italy has a 7% tax rate for retirees who live in small towns in the South. If that's interesting, then we send them to our person in Italy. Let's say you have a Mexican grandparent and your parent and you want to get a Mexican passport. Then we would probably say go to Spain if you're a digital nomad or you have passive income. So we just sort of go through all the list of things that they have and things that they want and try to matchmake them with the right country. And it is the case that the Netherlands is often the choice because it's so easy. Basically, any American who can start a business and who can afford probably a year's rent up front can go to the Netherlands.
Is France a tough one to get the passport for?
To get a passport, yes, there are ways. If you want to get a master's degree in France, you can get a passport pretty quickly.
I don't want to do that.
Okay, well, that's an option. You can certainly go to France on a long stay visa if you have money, if you've got passive income, or you can start a business in France with about 40,000 euros of investment.
What % of your clients have moved back to the U.S. after leaving?
0.
0? They're just not telling you.
No, we keep track of everybody.
You're not allowed to do that.
Well, we do because they're part of our community.
All right.
No, everybody's really happy to be out of America.
People are gonna get so mad. Don't read the comment section of this podcast.
I get a lot of hate online.
Oh, you're going to. You're gonna get tons of it
anyway.
It does, but it's so. I'm a person. I get hate too, but it's so crazy when people get so mad about like if you take a swing at America. I also get annoyed with people that don't. Like, why don't you leave if you don't like America? If you're gonna shit on it. My argument is no. That's why I live here, because I'm free to complain about it.
But
I don't have an issue with that.
If you love something, don't you want to make it better?
I don't love it.
Oh, you don't love it?
No.
Okay.
It's fine. It's where I live. I know I have my routine. My family's here. It's convenient. I like a lot of things. I don't love pride, all of that stuff. It bores me. And I also don't. I'm never prideful of things that I don't have control of.
That's not very American.
I know.
Americans are incredibly proud of their country, and I really think some of that pride is really misplaced. I think that because they don't understand that they're being screwed constantly.
Well, I also think it's so weird. The people that are the most prideful live in the places that are the absolute
shittiest.
Worst.
Absolutely. Totally agree.
Will you look at a client and go, you know what? You don't have enough money to do this. You shouldn't do it.
I don't try to say that. I try to say, okay, with the money that you have and the work potential that you have, this might be a better place than this. So there is a place really for almost anyone who wants to leave. They just have to arrange it in the right way. They've got to understand which countries you can work in with the skills and the jobs that they have, and which countries you can't work in, but they have enough passive income, like Social Security. A lot of very poor people, for instance, who are living on Social Security are moving to places like Albania because they can live on a very small Social Security payment. So generally speaking, there is a way for most Americans to get out if they want. The first year of our business, we had a heavy concentration of parents with LGBTQ children who were really afraid for their children's lives, as well as their futures, having to do active shooter drills in school and all of those things. But especially trans and gender non-binary children were really under threat by the Trump administration. So in the first year, it was people who were so scared that they were willing to do whatever was required. Now you have a lot of people who are just really not wanting to participate in what's happening here. And they have money, and so they're going to find the safest, most livable place to go.
Okay, give me a dollar amount of moving to someplace beautiful.
Okay, so that would depend on a lot of things. Okay, are you going to work when you get there? So you're just going to retire?
Yes.
Okay, and you have passive income?
Yes.
And do you have children?
Yes.
Do you have a second passport?
No.
Okay, so then there are places that you could go. You could probably go to Portugal for, I think it's about 1,200 euros a month income if you have something like Social Security. Okay. You can live on that in a small place, not in Lisbon, but you could live there. You could probably go to Spain And also your savings would count towards your passive income level in Spain.
Does your savings not count in some places?
In some places, you need actual income, not savings.
Oh, that's
In some places,
interesting.
you need savings. I mean, you can essentially buy okay, they don't call it buying visas.
But the gold passports, those
exactly.
things.
I was going to say, if you have more than $1 million that you can just give to a government, you can get a passport pretty easily in a couple of places in the world.
Can I get a passport in any country?
No, almost very few countries. The first thing I would ask you if you
Uh-huh.
came to me would be, where were your grandparents born? Do you have any grandparents born anywhere in Europe? Most people say no.
No.
Then it's great-grandparents. Do you have any great-grandparents born
I got some Irish people somewhere down the Macintosh line.
They need to be grandparents for Ireland. And
I don't want to be in Ireland anyway.
you don't have to be in Ireland.
Oh.
That's the beautiful thing about the EU, about any EU passport, is it
Okay.
basically means you can live anywhere in the EU if you've got one EU passport. So for instance, something that not many Americans know, if you have a Latin American passport, Mexican, I mean, so many Americans are either eligible for a Mexican passport or have a Mexican passport, or if your parents or grandparents were Puerto Rican, you can go to Spain and in 2 years you can get a Spanish passport. Then you can live anywhere in Europe you want. So there are paths to getting a second passport for probably most Americans.
I like this.
If not through descent, then through naturalization. And Spain is a little bit of a hybrid because it's actually naturalization, but you're getting it because it's sort of like a reparation for colonialism. It's all the places that they colonized, including the Philippines, including Portugal and Brazil, that have this special, very fast path to a second passport.
My biggest problem is my wife, I'll be clear. Well, it just not, I mean, I don't mean it to leave it like that. I just, where she would want to live versus where I would want to live.
Where would she want to live?
Italy, Spain.
Italy's great. I spend my winter in Italy.
I'd like Costa Rica. That would be fine for me, but she would never do
Because
that.
it's the same time zone.
That's not why.
Oh,
I
you
don't
just like
know.
the nature and all that.
Warm weather and surfing. It's easy.
Yeah,
I can
okay.
get back up here if I need to.
Yeah, okay.
Which countries are the hardest to move to?
The English-speaking countries, I would say, for Americans,
Mm-hmm.
probably the English-speaking countries, Scandinavian countries that you would actually want to live in, probably those are
Which
the
are the
hardest.
cheapest countries to move to?
Places like Albania, Portugal, Spain.
What are the most expensive countries?
Well, probably Switzerland, but again, you can add that to the category of most difficult countries. The UK, I would say, is very expensive. Ireland is expensive.
Which ones are the sexiest?
That depends on what you like. If you like warm weather, if you like, cold, shitty
You
weather.
ever relocate people to China?
No.
Everyone loves to talk about how the Scandinavian countries always have the highest quality of life. But let's pretend for a moment that you're someone who doesn't love smoked fish, shitty weather, or fjords. Where else might you suggest someone who loves the sun and surfing move?
Okay, well, first of all, I'd just like to point out that the Netherlands is not Scandinavia.
Okay. It's in the ballpark, isn't it?
We do have smoked fish and shitty weather, though.
Is the weather bad?
I don't love it. I have 2 big dogs who I brought from Texas, and they're crazy. They're rescue dogs.
How was the process for them?
Very easy.
Yeah, but you created them under the plane,
I did.
and
But
that's scary.
they had more space than I had.
I don't care. Sometimes the pressure's different down there, I'm
No,
told.
it's just exactly like in the cabin.
I don't know. I think sometimes
That's old
a
information.
dead dog comes down the
No,
lift at the
that's
end.
not
and
true.
It's happened, I'm sure, in the history.
That's not true. But anyway, because I have to walk them 4 times a day, so I spend half my day walking. So I don't spend December or January and a bit of February in the Netherlands. I go to Italy.
Is that how I'm supposed to say it? Am I supposed to say Italy like that?
How did I say it?
You say it different. Say it again.
Italy.
Italy.
What do you say?
You say Italy.
Oh, I think that's
Italy.
Italy's a little redneck town in Texas.
Okay.
Italy is a country.
Fine. Well, I don't say it right. I listen. There's so many words. I had Florida education, so
Okay,
let's
I understand.
bear with me,
Yeah.
please. Why do you think America is the best country in the world?
I do not think America is the
Oh,
best country in the
interesting.
world. You have intelligent, well-educated people saying things like, in the richest country in the world. It's not the richest country in the world. Where does that even come from?
What about, is California the richest state in this country?
I think it is the richest state in this country. However,
I want one
I've been
win.
here since Friday, and I have seen so many unhoused people who seem to be suffering from mental illness, who are assaulting people on the street.
You've seen this since Friday?
I've seen this, and I've only been out a few times.
Okay.
Okay? So I want to know why you have a society in which no one can provide mental health care to these people and housing and food.
Well, I hope that's not directed to me because I certainly don't have the answers.
In the Netherlands, it's illegal to be homeless in most cities.
It's illegal.
So what happens if you're caught panhandling is you are taken to a shelter, given housing and clothing and food, and you're given any kind of mental health treatment you need. So you're not allowed to be on the street panhandling and potentially really threatening people.
You know, in Australia, and this might not be true, I don't ever fact check anything that I've learned. It's illegal not to vote. And they have 100% voter turnout. Now, granted, you can vote a lot. I don't know. Maybe they can do it by
Protest
phone
parties.
or something like that. I don't have the answers to this. But I just remember reading that one time and going, well, that makes sense.
The voting rate in Holland, or in the Netherlands, where we just had a major election, was about 70%. So it's not massively higher than the U.S.
Let me talk about the Netherlands for a second.
No, we're not all high.
No, that's not my question. I don't even care about the Amsterdam part of it. A lot of people always refer to the Netherlands as Holland.
Yep.
It's not the same. Holland is just two provinces in the Netherlands.
Correct. However, they do include Amsterdam and Rotterdam and all of the cities you've heard of, except for Utrecht maybe, or Eindhoven, that most people have heard of. Most of the major cities are in North Holland and South Holland. I live in North Holland.
So we just accepted that we just call it Holland?
It's okay.
It's okay?
It's okay. It's not technically
the
correct.
locals don't frown on us?
No, it's okay.
All right. That was my only real question that
A
I
lot
had.
of Americans think we live in Denmark, though. That is not okay.
What's the population of the Netherlands? I'm going to guess first. I'm going to say 15 million. What's your guess, Ed?
It's a bit more than that.
8.7.
Oh, you went lower.
No, it's more. I don't know the exact number, but I feel like it's like 18 million.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a small country.
Yeah, but geographically, how large is it compared to a state?
Small. It's very compact, the Netherlands.
How in the world do you get by with no good Mexican food?
I have good Mexican food. So part of the DAFT visa for the Netherlands, the reason most Americans are going there, it's called the Dutch-American Friendship Treaty. You can start a business. We have a client who came and started a Mexican food delivery business. So he delivers Mexican food every Friday to anybody who wants it. And he's bringing tamales to my house on Friday.
Fine, but Pete, we were just on tour recently and I was in Kentucky and we went to a
there's
Mexican
no good
restaurant.
Mexican food
It was
there.
disgusting.
I heard that. I listened to that podcast.
It's not good.
No, it's not good.
You
but
have to eat Mexican
no.
food in Southern California or Mexico or Texas, I guess.
Well, okay, so the Netherlands is very international. So you have a lot of people from all over. The Mexican restaurant in my town is run by a Mexican woman. And owned by a Mexican woman. It's good.
Listen, I can't live without Mexican food. And anytime I'm someplace away, it's the first meal I eat when I get back to America.
Totally.
I'm like, okay, let me have Mexican food now that I'm in America.
I know one time a friend of mine in London asked me, what I was going for dinner. And I said, I'm going to this Mexican restaurant. And I also had Mexican food for lunch. And she said, you're having Mexican food twice in a day? I said, I'm Mexican. I just call it food.
It's just food.
How are the waffles?
The waffles are delicious, but the Dutch do the little thin stroop waffles.
I don't like those.
Have you had fresh ones right off of the grill?
I'm sure I haven't had the best, but I just, if I have a preference.
Do you know you're supposed to put it on top of, you're supposed to have a cup of tea or coffee, and you put the stroop waffle on top, and then the caramel melts, and that's what makes it so good.
I've never done that.
Nope.
Pretty
You
good.
got
Pretty
microwaves?
good. That's a pretty good
Use a
local.
microwave.
Do you have a microwave?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also a convection oven.
All the appliances the same?
We don't have a garbage disposal.
Oh, why not?
Because we have a compost bin, so we just put all the stuff in there and we take it out for everything's recycled. We have 4 different recycling bins that we have to go out for.
Does a truck come weekly?
No, they're in these underground bins. So you take them a block away, you put them in the bin, and then they come and pick up the whole thing.
You take your trash a block away and have to sort it? You put that on your brochure. You can lose a few clients.
Yeah.
I'm not going to block. My wife yells at me all the time. Now I got to go out at night. I'll be back in 45 minutes, honey.
If you put the compost aside and you took all the recycling, you don't really have much trash.
What's a standard house cost to buy in the Netherlands? Just your basic run-of-the-mill house that a family of 4 would like. And then what's your a nice-ish one-bedroom apartment cost to rent? I want those two different numbers.
Okay, so I'm going to separate the Randstad, which is the most populated area. That's Utrecht, Amsterdam, Haarlem, Den Haag, and Rotterdam. Those are the expensive areas. It's all along the West Coast. In Haarlem, I'm most familiar with that question. A normal, 4-bedroom house, be 120 square meters, is probably going to be about 700,000 euros. Amsterdam would be a bit more. If you go outside of the Randstad, I've seen people who have bought houses of that same size for like 275,000 euros. In Amsterdam, we would advise a minimum of 2,500 euros for a one-bedroom apartment, and you might also have to pay a year's rent in advance because they don't trust you because you have no record there, right? But if you go outside of the Randstad to places like Eindhoven, Maastricht, Groningen, places like that, and I'm not pronouncing them correctly. I didn't.
Yeah, but still, so fun to say the names of the cities.
There, it's way cheaper. Like you would probably get a one-bedroom apartment for 1,300, 1,400, and a whole house you could rent for a family, 1,800 euros to maybe 2,000 euros a month.
Do the Netherlands leave their kids in strollers outside in the cold? Is that one of the places that do that?
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
no.
they leave them outside. Like they go into a restaurant and they have a coffee, and the kids are fine. Nobody's going to take a kid.
No,
There's some of those countries that do that.
I don't think so. I think you made that up.
I think the Netherlands does it. Do you ride a bike?
I ride a bike.
Do you?
I do. It's a bit scary because it's not true that you never forget how to ride a bike. You do forget.
Right. And let me tell you something. My son is now into like riding bikes and like jumping. And it's like, okay, I'm still cool, Dad. I'll ride with you and do some jumps. Falling is just horrible.
Yeah.
My grandpa fell once on a bike, and then the next time I saw him, he goes, his dog in the neighborhood chased at me, and he wrecked.
Scary.
So he put on his bike, he had a little container of black pepper, and he would throw the black pepper at the dog that was chasing him, just so the dog would start sniffing and sneezing, have a little fit, and stop chasing him. I think it was relatively humane out of all the things that he did in his life.
Let's ask the dog.
Out of all the things he did.
You got all the free sex workers there, huh? Is that a
Okay, you're talking about the red light district, the
Sure.
prostitutes in windows. It's sort of not really allowed. It's a bit frowned upon, and they've been trying in Amsterdam to like move the sex workers to another area, but so far that hasn't really worked out. So they're still there.
So they're there.
They're there.
And the authorities don't hassle them. You're allowed to go in.
I think you're allowed to go in. I mean,
this is something that you need to handle on day one of the tour. If we're
First question, sir. Ma'am, I have a question.
Are we going to the red light district and what time? Don't use store-bought pesticides. It's diluted and outdated. Pesty sends you the same stuff the pros use, but with the DIY kit, there are no strangers in your house or appointments to make time for. Also, you don't like people going into your certain areas of your home and spraying. But when you do it, it's not so bad. Only convenience and results. Pesty gets rid of over 100 types of bugs, from spiders and ants to roaches and scorpions. Pesty is kid-friendly and pet-friendly, so you can also treat indoors if you need to. And they ship all over the country with free shipping. Best of all, Pesty offers a 100% bug-free guarantee or your money back. If the bugs don't go away, you get a full refund. They can do that because they know it's going to work. Okay? Bugs hate to see you coming with Pesty. Go to pesty.com/Tosh for an extra 10% off your order. That's pestie.com/Tosh for an extra 10% off. Can I talk about your personal life for a second?
Sure.
You meet this Dutch guy, you date for a while or whatever, and then you guys end it?
Well, sort of. So we got married we moved in together in 2000. We got married in 2001. We were married until 2014. And then we divorced.
Legal divorce?
Legal divorce. And
Did he kick you out of the country?
I left the country. I was back in London, and then I came back to the U.S.
Okay.
And then we got back together in 2021, and then we remarried in 2023.
Don't you think it's insane how
Yes.
someone like someone that travels the world, that's lived abroad, that there's just one guy that you're like, well, let's do it again.
Well, Dutch people are pretty cool. Have you met a lot of Dutch people?
Not a lot.
So they're very
I
good
was
looking.
born in Germany, so I
Were you? Oh, in
yes.
the military. Your parents
No,
were in the
my
military?
parents were missionaries at the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, doesn't give me a
that
lot of
doesn't- No, that doesn't help. Yeah.
helps me in the afterlife.
Okay. I don't know if that counts.
I don't know if
but,
that passport's valid.
First of all, the Dutch are fabulous people. They're very emotionally open. They're very emotionally healthy. They're good looking. And we have a lot of people, a lot of single people who come to the Netherlands because they can come if they're freelance, they start a business, but they meet Dutch people and they fall in love and they can get married or even not get married, and they can get a passport in 3 years so they can stay, again, anywhere in Europe. So it's a very attractive place if you're single to go to meet attractive, wonderful partners.
Really selling it. I guess I send Panda over there. When people move to a different country, do you tell them to sell all of their shit?
Yes.
Okay, good. These people that, like when I moved from Germany back to the States as a child, I remember getting these barrels that my parents had shipped over with all our stuff, and it came like 3 months later. I don't know. Back in the day, things just went by boat. It was just horrible.
It still goes by boat if you have a lot.
And I was like, why is this chair here? Couldn't we just get a different chair?
That's exactly what we advise people. And
All right, sell everything.
Sell everything. Some people, you have things that you're emotionally attached to. You have things that are not replaceable. I personally shipped way too much stuff, personal things that I liked that are still sitting in storage because I have no room for them.
Do you have bright colors, like a lot of Mexican flair?
I have Fiesta wear.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I collect Fiesta wear, and my husband won't let me bring it into the house, so it's sitting in a storage room. He told me not to infect the house with Fiesta wear.
That alone is a good reason to move abroad, just to cleanse yourself of everything that you own.
Yeah, it does. You really have to get rid of everything. And again, we have businesses whose job is to help. Their business is to help you resettle. So they'll get your IKEA beds, get them all set up, pick you up from the airport with your dogs and your 15 bags or whatever, and take you in their van to your house. So you can just start over. It's cheaper and better.
How many different countries have you placed former Americans?
So placing is something different. If we tell someone to go, we say the best country for you to go to is Spain, then we send them to our partner in Spain. So we only help settle people really in the Netherlands.
Okay.
But we can coach them, we can advise them, we can send them to one of our partners. Are you
pushing the Netherlands? Does the Netherlands give you a little kickback?
They don't. The Netherlands is the easiest place in the world for Americans to go, I would say. And it's also the nicest place that a lot of Americans can afford to go, and it's a great country.
What about Canada? Do you like Canada?
It's not that I don't like Canada, but Canada doesn't really want Americans. The first thing that most Americans think of when they think of moving abroad is they think of moving to an English-speaking place. So they think Canada, the UK, Ireland, New Zealand, and Australia. And most of those countries don't really want most Americans. If you're a healthcare worker, great, go to any of those places. They'll take you. Sometimes they want scientists. Sometimes they want passive income people, not many. And they're really hard to go to.
Okay, you brought up something that hits close to home. Like, I have always enjoyed surfing, but I don't enjoy surfing in Hawaii because the people that grew up there, the locals that surf there, they don't want people from other places coming.
Okay.
It's not welcoming.
Okay.
Surfers aren't welcoming.
Okay.
So I've always enjoyed surfing in places where the vibe is a little less tense.
Okay.
New Zealand is a good place.
Okay.
Places in Australia can be tense, but there's other places that are less.
Okay.
Regardless, it's how I feel about moving abroad. I don't want to be like, oh, I hate that this American moved here.
I think that's a valid concern. There are a lot of places in the world right now who are kind of overwhelmed with Americans. On a day-to-day basis, probably it doesn't really affect you as an American, but you know that the countries are kind of tired of Americans coming in and pushing up their housing prices. So I think you do have to think about when you're moving somewhere, am I going to be welcome there? People move abroad to have a better life for their children.
People care about healthcare so much. And it's in the back of my head all the time. Like, oh, are there good hospitals?
Yeah.
I don't do anything. I don't go to doctors.
No.
I never need them. But here's the thing.
What about your children?
My children don't either.
Okay.
They'll be fine is what I say. But here's the thing. When you need it, you don't think that I don't love that UCLA and Cedars is a stone throw from where my kids live?
Sure.
I love it.
But most people are in a situation where even when they're really sick, if they took their kids to one of these great hospitals, how are they going to pay the bill? Even with insurance, people end up with tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars in bills for medical care. And if you're in Europe, it's not like that. I spend less all year for all of my health care than I spent in 2 months in Texas, and I never go to the doctor. And, if you have kids, you don't even have to pay the insurance for kids. They're just covered.
I spend $4,000 a month.
So if you move to the Netherlands, you'd spend 400 euros a month on insurance.
Yeah, but is that the same amount? Because I don't know the conversion.
No, it's like almost 10 times as much. Okay. You're spending almost 10 times as much.
What does your service charge to evacuate someone from America?
It really can vary from just like a few hours of consulting, a few €100. If they want to do everything themselves, then they just need a bit of guidance, to like $8,500 if they want like full service.
And you can do all the paperwork so that we don't have to do anything?
If you're coming to the Netherlands, it's really easy. There's some times that it's a little more complicated and then we need a lawyer on top of that. But most Americans don't need a lawyer to move to the Netherlands. It's so easy.
Please describe who Black Pete is to our audience.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, you've obviously read the David Sedaris bit. Okay.
Sedaris. You say say everything fancier.
I'm sorry.
You say things fancy.
I just don't know. I just don't know.
Okay, fine. Go on.
David Sedaris. Okay. All right. So first of all, Zwarte Piet is no longer Zwarte Piet. He's just Pete.
Oh.
Because a lot of people of color living in the Netherlands were really offended by Zwarte Piet, who was either Santa's helper or slave, depending on your perspective. And a lot of people of color were upset, and a lot of white people were like, we've always done it this way, let's just keep doing it. But they've compromised, and now there is Pete, but he's no longer black. Zwart means black.
So he's Santa's he's like an elf?
He's like an elf. And
he works for Santa?
He works for Santa, and so the debate is, did he get black smoot from going down the chimney, or is he a slave?
Oh,
so your perspective...
That old debate.
So the... So the perspective depends on whether you're black or not, probably,
Everybody's on the show gets a gift, okay?
Okay.
But it's just stuff that I have in my house. It's just junk. I just get rid of stuff and I give it to someone else. Now,
I'm pretty sure your junk is way better than the stuff I have.
No. First junk I'm giving you is just random euros and other cash that I found in my house.
All right. I see €5 there.
Oh, there's a 20 in there.
Oh,
yeah.
I'll take it.
Oh, of
Thank
course.
you. Yeah.
There's some there's some colognes in there. I don't know what else there is.
I'll take it. Thank you.
Please take that
Thank
cash.
you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Now,
yeah. I love it.
The next thing I got you, I actually think is genuinely nice.
Okay.
My favorite breakfast burrito by a Mexican lady, and she makes the best hot sauce.
Okay.
And I worry that you
love
don't
hot.
Right.
Oh,
so
my goodness.
I'm giving you a thing of Lily's hot sauce. It's just the best. And you'll figure a way to get that home.
I would have to check my bag, but let's see.
Whatever.
It might be worth it. This is amazing. Thank you. I do love hot sauce.
Well, good. You're going to like that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Put all that on the floor, please.
Okay, put it on the floor. Okay.
Please. This is so bizarre, this gift. I don't know what people, I have a driveway, I have a gate. Okay, and I buzz people in because every day there's Amazon or some other thing. And the other day, it was like, oh, we got your groceries. I don't know. I buzz them in. I don't know if somebody ordered groceries.
You got somebody else's groceries.
I got somebody else's groceries. I look on it. I don't recognize the name. It's none of my neighbors that I know. I'm like, I try to call. I try to go to the app. There's nothing I can do. They're just on. It's just a bag. So I'm like, oh, well, I'll just give you their groceries. Now, I don't know if you're going to need
From
any of this.
Erewhon. Oh, that was a lot of money.
No, I know. It's like grain-free matcha granola. I don't want any of this stuff. Okay. We'll see. This is some beautiful, I hope you're hungry, tomato basil bisque. You're going to enjoy it.
How much do you think this costs?
I don't know.
What's the bill say? You have the receipt there.
It doesn't say. It doesn't have anything. It has a name. If Bete or BTC, I'm sorry. Anyway.
Grain-free matcha granola. I've never heard of such a thing.
No one has.
Okay.
No one's heard of that stuff. You think if it was good stuff that I would eat, I would have kept it. I was like, what is this?
But you mix it with a tomato soup, and it's supposed to be amazing.
Your husband's going to love whatever you're going to prepare.
I don't think I can take that soup back, but...
Okay, well, please put it on the floor for the time being.
Okay, all right, on the floor. Okay.
The other day, I go to my dry cleaner.
Mm-hmm.
My dry cleaner doesn't... They don't give you, they don't put your dry cleaning in then
because they're too fancy.
So they give you their own bags, and they're large, and they can hold like a ton of clothes, hanging clothes, and then you return them.
Oh, but you didn't return them.
No, I went back the other day and they were out of business. I'm like, hey, I got your bags. And I figure if you're dealing with people relocating, they're going to need some wardrobe bags.
Okay.
Okay, so just go ahead and
Thank you. Okay. Is that it?
Listen, that hot sauce you're going to love.
I'm excited about the 25 euros.
Oh, forget the money. The hot sauce is the winner. What do you miss least about living in America? And then what do you miss most?
I miss least Trump and his supporters. I don't really miss anything about living here.
Sad. That's sad for us. We took an L on that one. What would you do if let's say Trump, chokes on a dry hamburger?
We live in hope.
Vance is gone, and all shifts back to a level of normalcy. Would you reconsider the amount of time you spend in America?
So I don't believe that things will get to normal for a long time, and I think that these sort of authoritarian regimes tend to last at least 12 years. And I think the damage that they've done to America and to America's position in the world will last a long time, probably after I'm dead, before America might have a chance to recover.
If he runs for another term, if he changes some laws and allows himself to run for another term, I would actually like that personally. And then I would like Barack to be like, okay, I'll run again. And then watch what happens. Oh, that'd be fun.
Well, he doesn't even have to change the law. He has the Supreme Court in his back pocket, right?
Yeah, he does. We're going to stack those courts eventually. Don't you worry about that.
I certainly hope so.
Have you ever thought about helping people from the Netherlands move to America? Because I feel like you might be leaving money on the table.
I know you're making a joke.
No,
However,
it's a little jokey,
okay.
But
there's a really serious answer.
Oh.
The Dutch-American Friendship Treaty visa is also available for Dutch people who want to move to America. Do you know how many Dutch people actually want to move to America?
How many?
Not many. I don't think any do.
Well, stop spreading horrible lies.
And my husband tried for like a year and a half to get a visa to live in America, and they did, even though he was married to me and had a job with his Dutch company, but their American office. And he never got the visa.
Okay, but
It's
he did
really
live
hard.
here for a while.
He didn't. We just went back and forth while he applied for the visa.
He never lived here for any amount of time?
Mm-mm, no.
Where would have you lived?
In my house in Fort Worth. He also thinks Fort Worth is a shithole, so.
I love Dallas. I don't think it's bad. And I just lump Fort Worth with it.
Dallas is okay. And Fort Worth is okay. For him, he just thinks it's crazy that you drive 20 minutes to go to the grocery store. I mean, because we walk outside of our door and we have a grocery store 40 feet away.
Well, yeah, but to get rid of the trash, you got to go another half mile.
No, it's like 80 feet.
Uh-huh. Jana, thank you for being on the show. I'm gonna hit you up. For some business. You're gonna get me into a country of my choosing.
They might know about you.
What's that?
They might not let you in.
Well, we're gonna have to find. I'm gonna give you parameters. We're gonna have to find a country that wants me. They're happy that I'm there. I'm gonna be there for a few months, and my children are very nice.
Yep. That's
what I'll be looking for. I don't want to be anywhere for a year anyway.
You just want to go on a vacation.
No, I want a passport, and I want to live there 2 months a year.
Okay, then I already know the place for you.
Oh, here we go.
Malta. €1 million.
I do love Maltese.
€1 million, and you're in.
How much?
€1 million.
Okay.
Then you got it.
Guys. We're going to do the podcast from Malta.
Wow.
I'm not paying your $1 million, Eddie.
Oh.
Jana, thank you for being on the show. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, travel safe.
Thank you.
Tosh Show. Thanks, Jana, for being on the show. And I want to thank the Netherlands for inviting us, Americans, with open arms.
Yeah.
That sounds great there. I don't think I'm going to go. But maybe I'll head off to that Italy place. Italy. I'm going to head over to Italy.
Maybe you go.
She says it different. She knows she says it different. What about you, Carl? What country you want to go to? I want to go to one of those countries where they quarantine my dog for 6 years.
Oh.
And I just come and visit him. And then he'll say something like, I don't want you to see me in here, so stop the visiting.
Yeah, I don't want you
And
to
then
see
maybe
this.
one time he shoves one of his nipples up against the glass.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, man. Patreon.com/Tosh Show. Check that out for some unfiltered, unbordered content. My first farewell tour. To say that we're blowing the doors off, of other tours would be a gross understatement. A lot of tours, a lot of summer concerts, I'm reading it constantly. They're canceling because of various reasons. But the real reason is ticket sales.
That would seem to be.
Ticket sales is the only reason artists ever cancel shows. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Am I planning to cancel an entire leg of my tour? Yeah, sure. But I'm not going to. Just know that when you come and the balcony looks extra dark,
they're doing some work up there.
Yeah,
right
they're
now.
doing construction. We weren't allowed to sell those seats. ToshShowStore.com.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Get some merch. Let's do some music. Oh. Okay. They love me not. Let's hear it, Ed.
All right, from RG Andromeda. Regarding Amadeus, Tosh is correct and the guest is mistaken. The scene where they were referring to where she exposes herself to Celeria is not in the theatrical. It caused quite a stir in my house as well when I brought home the director's cut.
I appreciate it. There's somebody that listened to my show, likes the show, and is confirming that I was correct about the director's cut of Amadeus being softcore porn.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I was right. All right, hit me with a love me not.
Swifty6126. Bro thinks he $300 a ticket funny?
What does that mean?
The tickets are $300?
To my stand-up? No,
he's
tickets
looking for it.
aren't $300 to my stand-up. Maybe if you're looking like a front row special ticket that's held, but I doubt that. You're probably looking at secondhand. If you get tickets, normal section, normal seats at right when they go on sale, it's not even in that ballpark. We're talking double digits, not triple digits.
There you go.
And I don't think I'm $300 funny. I've been $300 funny occasionally, but that I can't guarantee the night of your show. I'll tell you who is $300 funny.
Who's that?
Cat Williams.
Oh, yeah. Cat Williams. Love him.
That's $300 funny. All right. Well, I'm sorry that person doesn't think I'm worth $300. I don't know that I think I'm worth that. You can get cheaper tickets. I am worth $89
There you go.
and under.
Yep.
See you next week.
Tosh Show.
Tosh Show. Tosh Show for show.